Namaste, and welcome to our continuing series on the life divine with our beloved Ranga. We're in the chapter The Divine and the Undivine. I have it at page 397, but I think it's different in different books.
412 for CWSA. But these conclusions,
I've got it, 397 in this book. Okay, let's begin.
we have already read the para once. To get the sense of continuity, I will tell you in summary what he said earlier in the previous paragraph. In the previous paragraph, what he has said is, with this view, what view? That our real indwelling divine element wants perfection within and without. Okay, he was speaking earlier that you can say in a certain sense that everything is really divine, but you are not seeing it because of your imperfections. So now he is saying that argument will not really stand always, because the divine is there already in you, the psychic being, and that wants perfection. It will not tolerate imperfection.
I can understand that. But when we read the first line of that previous paragraph, when he says that everything is perfectly in its place,
Yes.
perfectly in its place, why then does Mother say that we may have to have crashing circumstances?
The crashing circumstances is necessary for the next one. Suppose you have a building which is breaking down. After 100 years it is all dilapidated. You have to break it down to make a new one. So the
Men, countries, continents.
Yes, that's right.
She says it's imperative.
Yes. The choice is imperative.
Yes.
Truth or the abyss.
Truth or the abyss.
So
how does that fit with this sentence? That everything
it's
is
another
perfectly...
way of looking at things. It's another way of looking at things which is not accepting fully. You can say in a certain sense that all these planes which are there are exactly what it is supposed to be. Suppose you make the rules of a game. Okay, let's take it this way. You invent a game and you make certain rules. Now while you are playing, some players may say, I don't like these rules. But you say, no, that's the way I have built it. You have to play the game according to the rules played. So that's what is meant by everything is in place. Everything is as it was intended to be.
But some don't play by the rules.
Pardon?
Some do not play by the rules and some cheat.
There are plenty of human beings. Playing by the rules means doing yoga. Playing not by the rules means not doing yoga. So that's always there. In fact, so what is meant by that everything is in place means that was intended. It was intended by the divine to be exactly what it was intended to be. In that sense, it is perfect.
Okay, I can accept that, of course.
In that sense.
Certainly I can accept.
But now he is saying, I can't accept that sense fully.
Okay.
There is darkness here, but that was intended to be, because that's a game, the way it is played. The game is, from darkness you have to escape and go to the light. That's the way he has designed the game. So it's perfectly in place. That's what he means. So with this view that our real indwelling divine element wants perfection within and without. So the divine in you is not accepting the darkness here. Why? Because he wants you to play the game and go out and go to the light.
Then I would have to ask about Mahakali.
Yeah, Mahakali.
Yes.
She is the one who is preparing you to go up.
She may have to destroy this current situation in the world.
Yes, because that's how it is. See, the divine is slowly revealing himself at this level. That is accepted.
Yes, agree.
So, what is he doing? He is revealing himself in the darkness. The darkness will stay, but he is slowly revealing himself. The darkness is not going to disappear. It will disappear in the individual, but not in the universe. The universe will remain as it is. But a sample of the divine will be exposed every time. Okay. When matter was there, there is only matter. Let's say darkness. When life comes up, the first glimmer of light is there in consciousness has come up. But has all matter become life? No.
No.
There's so many stones, mountains, they have not become light.
Yes.
Life. So now when all the animals are there and man comes up, have all the animals become men? No. So when also the yogis are there, have all men become yogis? No. So at a universal level, the darkness is there, the consciousness slowly beginning is there, and it is going on, little more consciousness, it is going on. There is a sampling of the divine consciousness opening out in the physical world. But everything is not becoming divine.
No, but he does say in Savitri, Book 11, even the common man shall feel the wide uplift
Ultimately.
and turn.
Ultimately.
Ultimately means when the supermental is fully active.
When you become a Superman. Because when the supermental will come, just as when man came, the animals didn't disappear, the plants didn't disappear, they all stay in the universe. These layers are there. Only the Superman, everybody will not become the Superman.
True.
So it's becoming like a pyramidal structure, less and less. But the divine is revealing himself slowly here in the darkness, in these planes of consciousness.
But in time,
yes.
Won't everything become supermentalized? No. Ah, that's interesting.
No. In the darkness, there will be samples of light. Man is a sample of mental consciousness in a world of animals. The yogis are samples of divine consciousness in a world of men, animals, and matter.
Okay, got it.
The Superman will be just a sampling, not all. It will be, the Superman will be a divine consciousness in a mental world, an animal world, and a physical world. It's a pyramidal structure.
This earthly life become the life divine.
In the Superman. But the thing is, when
in the
he says,
supermental or the supermen in the supermental world or in the Superman.
The Superman who will be living in the supermental world will be reflecting the supermental in the physical world. Just as man with his mental consciousness is far different from the animal, but he is coexisting.
Understand, yeah.
Exactly in the same way, the supermental being will coexist with men, animals, and plants, etc.
I'm clear on that. But what about that line? This earthly life become the life divine.
That's exactly what is meant. The life divine will, the earthly life will become life divine. In the earthly life, there will be the life divine in the Superman. But one thing is there. When the supermental comes, everybody will be helped down the line.
Yes, of course.
Just as when man has come, the animals are helped to a certain extent. Because when they associate with human beings, their evolution becomes faster. Their evolution becomes faster.
I'm not sure.
Cats, okay?
Yes, but let's look at this. Mother says that she says a cow will go grazing along the road
Okay.
and will never eat a poisoned
That is instinct.
plant.
That's
But-
not consciousness.
But man will give it poisoned plant and it will eat it.
Yeah. But the animal instinct is not consciousness. It is consciousness at a very low level.
Okay.
It's a vital with the consciousness standing behind and giving it instinct. Do this mechanically, not consciously.
Okay.
The
Okay.
consciousness is there everywhere, but hiding. It is slowly evolving, but not evolving everywhere and in everybody.
Not evolving everywhere and in
Everybody.
So the consciousness does not necessarily evolve in every person.
Yes. See, he says very clearly, when matter is there, these are all small, small subtle points which is very clear with his words. Life is coming out of matter, but all matter is capable of life? No. The stone will never become life. But the stuff which is capable of becoming life will become life.
Okay. But the stone holds the divine presence.
The presence is there, but it will never become life
Okay, now
at the present level.
I'm clear.
Similarly, if all men, are they going to become mental beings? No, mostly they are vital beings, mental vital beings, very, very low level. This is what he says. So all human beings will become Supermen? No, only those who are ready,
But
those who have evolved
but the supermental will raise the whole consciousness
to a certain extent.
to a certain extent.
Yes. For instance,
Yes.
man, if he is at level 3, he will be helped when the supermental comes to level 5. When the animal is at level 1, it will be helped to go quicker to level 2. The evolution will become quicker and quicker. That's what it means.
Thank you. We'll move on.
Okay. No, these are important questions because
Yeah.
everybody thinks everything will become divine.
Yes.
No. If that were so, why has he created the inconscient, which is darkness? If it is, it has to be subtly become darkness, then the game is not played. The rules of the games are being changed. As they put nowadays, the goalposts are being shifted. They say that way. But the goalposts are not going to be shifted. The divine has not created this game and this universe in a fit of fancy. He has done it with a purpose. And that purpose is eternal, infinite, valid forever. At least that's what I understand. Everything is not going to become divine. The divine will be revealed slowly in bits and pieces here. Matter is capable of this. Look, that's what is being said. All animals have not become men. All men have not become yogis.
I once asked Aurobindo Basu, will wars stop? He said they won't stop. They'll be smaller in size, they're not nuclear or anything,
Oh, absolutely.
but they will continue because
Yes.
progress has to continue.
The wars will continue so long as man is at this level. So long as he is in ignorance, attachment and ego, war is bound to happen. It will never be abolished. You may try as much as you want through the UNO, United Nations, but it will never vanish. Only it will vanish in the supermental race, it will vanish.
In the supermental
Yes,
race.
in that community.
Yeah, I got it.
It will
Yeah,
not be
yeah.
there.
So when Mother has that boat and she sees the people who are ready to become supermentalized
Yeah.
and many others who are not,
Yes.
that does not refer to the whole world.
That's right.
Okay. Clear.
So we come back to our divine and undivine. With this view, and what is that view? That our real indwelling divine element wants perfection within and without. So there is a divine within you who says that, no, I can't accept things as they are. So in one sense it is true, Sriyamda says, because that's intended to be like that. But now the human being, the psychic in you says, I want perfection within and without. That means there must be perfect justice, there must be perfect love. So that will be possible in a sampling, not everybody. Everybody will be helped, but there will be an upward evolution. And that upward evolution, there will be some who will be capable of that. Just as now, in humanity, only some are capable of pure reason and logic. Everybody is not capable of logic. Exactly in the same way, in the higher plane also. Okay, so Sri Aurobindo is contradicting that first view, which he accepted partly, because he says the psychic is there in you, and the psychic is divine. And the divine is saying, I want perfection, I don't want this. Not only within, but also without.
Is the psychic there in every human being?
Yes. No, not necessarily. There are some who don't have a psychic being.
I remember that Mother said Stalin did not have one.
Who?
Stalin.
Ah,
She said he had no psyche, no soul.
she has identified even people here.
Oh,
So we come back to our text. So that our real indwelling divine element wants perfection within and without, we can admit that each thing is perfect in its place, provided we accept as real the possibility of perfection even in the external world. We can admit that each thing is perfect in its place, provided we accept as real the possibility of perfection even in the external world. The possibility is there, and slowly, slowly things will improve even in the physical world. But the perfect divine
life.
life in the physical world is an evolving thing. It's an evolving thing. And if you say that yes, one day everything will become perfect, if you say, okay, then you're putting a limit to the divine.
Then what?
You're putting a limit on the divine. Everything is perfect, nothing needs to be changed anymore.
Oh,
You're putting a limit.
interesting.
But the divine is infinite, there's no limit.
Interesting. Yes.
So, provided we accept as real the possibility of perfection even in the external world, what exists is justifiable, even if imperfect, when placed in relation to what will be in future. The present imperfection is justifiable, understandable, acceptable only when seen as a future perfection. So at right present, this is intended to be. You are imperfect, but one day you are going to become perfect. So we have to accept that this is real. But it can change. So in that sense, you have to accept it.
So when these civilizations, such as Atlantis and Lemuria, who are more highly developed in scientific areas and
Yes.
others,
Yes.
were destroyed,
Yes.
then
Why? Why were they destroyed?
why?
Because the perfection reached in those planes was not integral. Sri Aurobindo says that very clearly. See, with Vedic period also was so perfect, but it was destroyed because the evolution is not linear. It is spiral.
Yes, yes.
Something is comes up and then it goes down again. Something comes up, and every time there is one
Little
centimeter
higher.
of progress, centimeter of
yeah.
progress. So it doesn't go on circling in the same place. It circles a little up, little up, little up, little up, little up. Why? Because it is not integral. The Vedic was certainly in the Vedic period, we didn't have computers, we didn't have aeroplanes, we didn't have rockets. So they could go individually. But in the physical world, could they do that? I know that there are some who say that yes, there was, but that is doubtful. Sri Aurobindo has answered this also. He says we can take that with a pinch of salt.
Huh.
There are Indians who claim that the Vedas contain all the secrets of rocketry, all the secrets of atomic power, all the secrets of flying heavier than air machines, all that is there. But Sri Aurobindo is not so sure at all. He says we can take that.
With a grain of salt.
Yeah, he doesn't say with a pinch of salt, but that's the impression he gives you. There was development, but individual human development, but not in the physical world also there was a lot, okay? There was development in metallurgy, there was development in surgery, There was development in many fields, medicine, Ayurveda, but it wasn't perfect. Now it is far, far better. You can't deny that. There was no electricity even at that time. It's so simple. So that had to come. So, okay, you have gone up to that level. Now develop this. So this goes down and that development comes up. The material development has now come, but now it has to combine with the spiritual development. It has to be integral.
So when Mother speaks of the 6 previous pralayas,
Yeah.
and she says there will not be a 7th.
Yeah, because now it will be at the take-off stage. It will be now, destruction may not be necessary from perfection to more perfection, perfection to more perfection. That's what Sri Aurobindo says also in this supramental manifestation. He says earlier, it was from ignorance to knowledge. But now it will be from knowledge to further knowledge. That's why no destruction is necessary. Make sense?
Thank you. I hope this will be good for everyone also
No, it's an interesting
who's
discussion.
listening. You've spoken very beautifully. Thank you.
So, the present imperfection is justifiable, understandable, acceptable, not if it is permanent. I am adding that. So I cannot accept a darkness which is permanent. But I can accept that, yes, this is the rules of the game, this is darkness, but it is intended to change. So at present, this is intended, acceptable. That's what Sri Aurobindo says. Okay? Now, I am reading that again, you will see that. The present imperfection is justifiable, understandable, acceptable, only when seen as a future perfection.
Okay.
It cannot be permanent. It is evolving. If you bring in evolution, I accept that, yes, this is okay at this level. Okay, so for this justification, a divine reason can reveal the exact significance of the present, seeming imperfection. But this secret significance is to be experienced and not merely to be understood by the mind. Of course, it is perfectly right to face life's difficulties with patient endurance and equanimity as a law of God, provided we also recognize that the divine law includes transformation of the perfect imperfect into the perfect. The ascetic, the Buddhist, is not accepting imperfection here, but simply saying we will accept, but with the proviso that there will be a further progress. That's the difference. In that sense, everything is intended here, the darkness.
So everything in this spiral is moving higher.
Yes,
The whole
yes,
earth.
yes. The whole earth, again, sampling of the earth.
Yeah, you make that point, yeah.
Not everything.
Only a sampling of
Yes.
the earth. Okay.
So, provided we recognize that the divine law includes transformation of the imperfect into the perfect. The possibility and capacity is there in us. So that's why we can accept the darkness is there, and man has to struggle and accept it as God's will. That he says, okay? The imperfections are shown to us as the initial disguises, not as finalities. That's exactly what Sri Aurobindo is saying. These are my words, but he's saying that the imperfection are disguises, and you have to find the real presence, divine presence behind the disguises. That's a game. That's the rules of the game. That's how it is made. So it's acceptable. Don't complain that this is permanently, I am in ignorance. That would be very unfair. But the divine is not unfair. He's saying, let's play the game. Yeah, darkness, out of darkness you come. This is something very easy to understand. Even when you're playing computer games, level 1 is very easy. Level 1 is easy. You come to level 2, slightly more difficult. And one who is really interested in solving, he wants to go to level 3, level 4, level 5. The divine has put level infinite here for you to conquer. Right? So, the imperfections are shown to us as initial disguises, not as finalities. The soul in man sees the imperfect, lights the flame of aspiration, urges us upwards to get rid of the outer robes and reveal the secret perfect divine everywhere. This is what he said in the previous para. Our present nature is transitional, not final. What is not acceptable is finality. But it is not final, so we accept the divine. The Buddhist is not accepting. So he is okay. He is not playing the game. He wants to go away there, fine. Same, there is no objection. Our present nature is transitional, not final. The ultimate realization must be the manifestation of the perfect in the physical world. That's what he said in the previous one. The divine and the undivine. Undivine seems to be here, but it is evolving.
But it's a limited perfect.
Yes, that's right.
Now I got it. Thank you.
Okay, so now we read the para that we have to read today.
Yeah.
But these conclusions are only first reasonings or primary intuitions founded on our inner self experience. Yeah. But these conclusions are only first reasonings or primary intuitions founded on our inner self experience and the apparent facts of universal existence. They cannot be entirely validated unless we know the real cause of ignorance, imperfection, and suffering and their place in the cosmic purpose and cosmic order. So, what is imperfect, we have to find out why it is imperfect. Then it is acceptable. Otherwise, it is not acceptable. Okay. There are three propositions about God and the world. If we admit the divine existence. So, Sandhya is saying, we won't start with those who don't believe in God. But if you believe in God, there are three ways of putting this problem. Okay, so they cannot be entirely, if we admit the divine. The three propositions, what are they? To which the general reason and consciousness of mankind bear witness. But one of the three, which is yet necessitated by the character of the world we live in, does not harmonize with the two others. So what those three are, we'll see now one by one. And by this disharmony, the human mind is thrown into great perplexities of contradiction and driven to doubt and denial. For first, we find affirmed an omnipresent divine divinity and reality, pure, perfect and blissful, without whom, apart from whom, nothing could exist, since all exists only by him and in his being. So now he is saying, man has experienced that there is a ultimate reality and that is perfect. And the ultimate reality is Satchidananda. There is Satchidananda. You have to begin from there. And if Satchidananda is not there, there will be no world. So you begin, this is the first proposition. Okay? There is a divine. There are many who say there is no divine, but he is not considered in those people at all. For them, the imperfection is perfect. Existentialism and others.
Yeah.
Okay, so we find first affirmed an omnipresent divinity, omnipresent, everywhere is there, and reality, pure, perfect and blissful, without whom, apart from whom, nothing could exist, since all exists only by him and his being. He is talking of the Advaita philosophy. All thinking on the subject that is not atheistic or materialistic, or else primitive and anthropomorphic, has to start from this admission or to arrive at this fundamental concept that there is God. You have to start from there. Okay. If you want to explain the divine and the undivine. If you are not interested, fine, no problem. But if you are interested, start from this, that there is a divine. Okay. So, all thinking on the subject that is not atheistic, materialistic, or else primitive and anthropomorphic. Even remove the anthropomorphic. That also is removing. Okay? And primitive also. You have to start from a fairly reasonable proposition that there is a divine and that's a Satchidananda. And it's there everywhere.
But this interesting point that you made, that the Buddhist doesn't want to play the game.
Yeah, that's right.
And so he escapes into the divine.
Yes.
Which is perfectly
But
acceptable.
he doesn't accept the divine also. The Buddhists don't accept the divine also. They only accept a state of consciousness where there is no suffering.
Yes. Okay.
The ascetic may accept. The Mayavadin may accept a divine. But the Buddhists, no. So, for this omnipresence. Now, so you have to start from this. The focus must be very clear. We are trying to understand the divine and the undivine. So he has told you many, many theories of the undivine. Now he's saying, let's examine how this darkness and imperfection came into existence. So first we start from the theory, from a premise, a hypothesis that there is a divine. If you challenge and say, no, there is no divine, that's different. Then for you the question of divine and undivine doesn't even arise. Okay? This undivine is perfect, but we are saying that there is divine and undivine. So he is not considering the materialist, he is not considering the atheist, he is not considering because they are irrelevant to the problem. Okay? So he is even eliminating the primitive and also the anthropomorphic. Anthropomorphic, God is made in the image of man. He is like man. The qualities of man are extended to that which is not man, either God or animals. That's anthropomorphy.
This was Rudolf Steiner's philosophy, anthropomorphism.
Okay.
Mother did not like Steiner. She didn't, but she didn't like Tolstoy either.
Yeah. Yeah, I was referred to Rudolf Steiner once in a while, but I didn't go into his philosophy deeply. No, I didn't go. So, it is true that certain religions seem to suppose an extra cosmic deity who has created a world outside and apart from his own existence. So he's saying that there are religions who seemed to think that there is divine extra cosmic outside the cosmos and created the cosmos out of himself. But what does Advaita say? Omnipresent.
Yes.
The divine is there and he is creating the divine, he is creating the world within himself, not outside. Okay? It is true that certain religions seem to suppose an extra cosmic deity who has created a world outside and apart from his own existence. But when they come to construct a theology or spiritual philosophy, these two admit omnipresence or immanence. For this omnipresence imposes itself. It's a necessity of spiritual thinking. If there is such a divinity, self or reality, it must be everywhere, one and indivisible. Nothing can possibly exist apart from its existence. Nothing can be born from another than that. There can be nothing unsupported by that, independent of it, unfilled by the breath and power of its being. It has been held indeed that the ignorance, the imperfection, the suffering of this world are not supported by the divine existence. But we have then to suppose two gods, an Ormuzd of the good and an Ahriman of the evil. These are terms used in the Parsi religion. What is it called?
Sufism?
No, not Sufism. Zoroastrianism.
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 That's
yes.
it. So they have an Ormuzd and a Ahriman. They're good and evil. Many other philosophies also have that. Manichaeism also has the same philosophy. Okay, so then you have to suppose two gods, an Ormuzd of the good and an Ahriman of the evil, or perhaps a perfect supracosmic and immanent being and an imperfect cosmic demiurge or separate undivine nature. This is a possible conception, but improbable to our highest existence. It can only be, at most, a subordinate aspect, not the original truth or the whole truth of things. Why? Because to think of a divine who is not perfect, to think of a divine who can be coerced by other elements, doesn't seem to make sense to...
How can he be divine?
Yes, how can he be divine?
Yeah.
So divine has to be absolute divine.
Yes.
So then you can't accept this theory. That's what he's saying. So it can only be at most a subordinate aspect, not the original truth or the whole truth of things. Nor can we suppose that the one self and spirit in all and the one power creator of all are different. Okay? So, spirit and power also are not different. Contrary to in the character of their being, separate in their will and purpose. Our reason tells us, our intuitive consciousness feels, and their witness is confirmed by spiritual experience, that the one pure and absolute existence exists in all things and beings, even as all things and beings exist in it and by it. And nothing can be or happen without this indwelling and all-supporting presence. So now we come down to spiritual experience. He's saying that yes, you can conceive. There is a God above and there is a God below. But your idea of God is different. Okay? You have to allow for a God above and a God below. But there is no perfect God.
No, but this is basically Christianity also.
Yes.
Saying that it's the devil below and God
That's right.
above.
Yeah. That's why he's saying it is conceivable. But what about spiritual experience? Spiritual experience tells you that there is, you experience it so concretely, that the one is there in the many, and the many is there in him, and not only that, but the one has become the many. The one, the divine himself has become everything in the physical world. So that's what he's saying in spiritual experience.
I think the problem arises in these Western countries more about evil and falsehood.
Yeah, particularly Christianity.
Christianity especially.
Because you are considered to be a sinner.
To begin with.
Whereas the Indian conception is you are divine, but you are covered up. The divinity in you is covered up. Remove the covers and you will be you divine. In a more positive view.
So that was only the first affirmation that he gave. Thank you, Ranga. Very enlightening. Namaste all. And we'll see you on Wednesday for the synthesis of yoga. On Friday, essays on the Gita. And on Saturday, our beloved Savitri.